Okay, so today we're going to be finding the area of a composite figure. Well, before we can find the area of a composite figure, you got to understand what a composite figure is. A composite figure is made up of simple geometric shapes. Okay, so another way I say it is a composite figure is composed of two or more shapes, and these are the shapes that it's going to be composed of. Okay, it can also be composed of a circle, which we learned the area of a circle is A is equal to pi r squared. And I'm going to tell you this again, is you do not have to memorize these formulas. These formulas are on your star chart, which will be provided for you on your unit test and your star test. Okay, so let's figure out how to solve an area of a composite figure. So this is a composite figure. It is composed of two or more geometric shapes. So what you do is you break it up into the shapes you recognize. So the way I like to do it is that you like to draw a line. So I draw a line down it, and I put an A on top and a B on bottom. So I have two shapes. I have an A and I have a B. And so then after you figure out what the shapes are, you got to figure out the area formula for them. So this is an area of a parallelogram. Area of a parallelogram is A is equal to base times height. Okay, you always write down the formula, then you plug it in. So my base is right here. Come on, pen. Is 10, and my height is what makes a perpendicular angle to the base is right here. So that's 1.5. So you got to do 10 times 1.5, which is just 15. Okay, so that's my area of my first one. So now we got to find the area of B, which is an area of a trapezoid. Area of a trapezoid is A is equal to base 1 plus base 2 times the height divide by 2. Okay? Well, your bases, your base 1 and base 2, have to be parallel. Okay? Remember, parallel is like railroad tracks. They'll never touch each other. So, let me scoot this in. This right here is your base, and then the 7 is also your base because they run parallel with each other. So unfortunately, I do not know what the top base is, but what I do know is if this right here is 10, that means this will be 10. So I'm going to rewrite it. So one of my bases is 10. My other base is 7. My height, which again is 1.5, and then you divide by 2. So the first thing you always do is you add your bases together. 10 plus 7 is 17. So then you're going to do 17 times 1.5 divide by 2. So 17 times 1.5, we're going to come up here again, is 25.5. Then you got to divide by 2, which is 12.75. So now we're not done yet, though, because so now we got to do is we found the area of the parallelogram, and then we found the area of the trapezoid. So now we have to add them together. Well, these are both of my areas. So to find the area of the total figure, you have to take them and add them together. Okay, so when you add them together, you get 27.75. And that'll be your area. Okay, so that was ours. So let's you do one. So pause the video, try it by yourself. All right, so next thing you do is you're going to write A, B, C. So A is a triangle. So a triangle is A is equal to base times height divided by 2. So the base of A is 3. The height of the A is 2. And then you divide by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. Divide by 2 is 3. Okay, so B is a rectangle. Area of a rectangle is just base times height. Well, the base is not 8. It's not 8, guys. This right here, let's see if I can do it in a different color. This right here is 8, but we need the full length of it. So it's 8 plus 3, which is then 11. So my base is 11, and my height is 4. So 11 times 4 is 44. All right, my last one, C, is also a triangle. So it has the same formula. A is equal to base times height divided by 2. But it's a different type of triangle. My base is still 3, but my height is now 3. So I'm going to write this off to the side. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So now you have 3 different areas. I always like to box them in so you don't lose them. So to find the area of the full figure, you have to add all 3 areas together. When you add all 3 areas together, you should get 51.5, which is your answer. All right, let's try another one. All right, so I'm going to label this A. I'm going to label this B. So A is a square or a rectangle. It does not matter. An area of a rectangle or square is just base times height. The base here is 10 and the height here is 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. All right, well, I'm going to take a second. So I know that this area is 100, but I have to add another area to that. So that means my answer cannot be 100 because it has to be greater than 100. All right, B is a semicircle. So you're going to do pi r squared. Well, the first thing you need to know is the radius. I know that this length is 10. So since that full length is 10, half of that is 5, which is my radius. So you're going to do 3.14 times 5 squared. Well, 5 squared is 25. And 3.14 times 25 is 78.5. But that's not the area of B. That's the area of a full circle. B is half of it. So you're going to divide that by 2, and you get 39.25. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the only answer that has a 0.25 on it is D. And so you have to add these 2 areas together, and 100 plus 39.25 is just 139.25. That's your answer. All right, let's do 2 more. So this one says a banquet room is being carpeted. A floor plan of the room is thrown at the right, or is shown at the right. Excuse me. Each unit represents 1 yard. The carpet costs $23.50 per square yard. So how much will it cost to carpet the room? Well, the thing we need to find first is how much area this composite figure has. So you have a parallelogram, which I'm going to label A, rectangle is B, and then the triangle is C. So it'd be A, B, C. All right, well, this does not give you any units. It doesn't give you any measurements. So what you got to do is you got to count the boxes for the measurements. So right here, this will be 4. And then the height will be 2. Okay? This rectangle will have a base of 4 and a height of 6. This triangle will have a height of 2. We'll just keep it simple and a base of 1. Okay, we'll just round it up to whole numbers. Okay. So my parallelogram's area is A is equal to base times height. My base is 4, my height is 2. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, my area formula for a rectangle is just, again, base times height. My base was 4, my height is 8, so my area is 32. Okay, my area formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. And again, the reason why it's divided by 2 is because a triangle is just half of a rectangle. So the base of the triangle was 1, and the height was 2, and you got to divide by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. Divide by 2 is 1. So now we have to add them all up. So you're going to do 32. I actually messed up, guys. I'm not sure why I made this an 8. This was supposed to be a 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. All right, so my area for my rectangle is 24. So now you're going to do 8 plus 24 plus 1, which will be 33. Cool. So it'll be 33. So 33 yards squared. So that's the area of the composite figure. But the thing is, though, that's not what they're looking for. It's looking for the cost of the carpet. So back here it says $23.50 per square yard. Well, I have 33 square yards. So to find the cost of it, you're going to take the area of the banquet room and you're going to multiply it by 23.50. And again, I don't write it like that. I like to write it like this. And you multiply it like that, and then you get 775.50. So 775.50. Okay. That's how you find the area of a composite figure, plus another step to find the cost of it. Okay, so now you try one. So pause the video, try it by yourself. Okay, so next one. A window is being replaced with tinted glass. The plane at the right shows the design of the window. Each unit length represents 1 foot. The glass costs $28 per square foot. How much will it cost to replace the glass? So again, we got to find our units. So this will be 4, and then this will be 5. So I'm going to label this A, B, and I'm going to keep this A. Because the reason why I labeled the two ends A's is because when you put two semicircles together, it creates one full one. So A is a full circle, and the area of that is A is equal to pi r squared. So pi is just 3.14. The radius will be 2 because the diameter is 4. So that'd be 2 squared, which is 2 squared is just 4. So you're going to do 3.14 times 4, which is 12.56. So that's the area for A. Well, B is a rectangle. The area formula for a rectangle is just base times height. The base is 5 and the height is 4. Well, 5 times 4 is 20. So now you got to do 20 plus 12.56, and you get 32.56. But that's not what it's looking for. It's actually, it says how much will it cost. This is not the cost of it. This is how much the area is. So then you got to take the area and you got to multiply it by 28, and you get $911.68. So the answer is C. Okay, so I know there's a lot to this, but it's nothing really new. The biggest thing is breaking it up into multiple shapes that you recognize, labeling it, finding the area of those shapes, and then adding them all back at the end. Okay, so main idea is to take your time and show your steps.